So I got these three foam pads that I want to turn into a sleeping pad, basically. They're just old pads, but the three tend to line up pretty good for my height. So first of all, I just started by cutting the tabs off of three sides. Cutting this pretty much straightforward. You just get a straight edge and press lightly as you cut through, and eventually after a few goes through, you get them cut off. If you try to cut it too quickly, you'll just end up ripping the foam apart, and you'll have big chunks missing out of your foam. So yeah, I just kept cutting through until I got each piece done, basically. And the third side, you don't need to do the fourth side because you'll be ending up cutting a little bit extra off of that anyway. The foam pieces that I had weren't exactly the same size. Two of them were the same, but one of them was from a different set. So here you see me marking it out 18.5 centimeters each piece, so 18.5 and 37, and then 55.5. You mark both ends, and then you just line up your straight edge between your marks and just cut again. It's a bit easier here because it's just straight foam, but again, you just lightly let your knife slide through until it eventually makes it through to the other side. And again for the second and then third piece as well. And then you'll have to do it for the second and third piece of foam, so it's a little bit of a cutting involved, but not too much effort. So here I've got my 9 pieces all cut out. Like I said, one of the pieces was a little bit different size, so I ended up having to cut little bits off the end of that one. So I just marked both sides and then straight edge and cut it with the knife I'm using. Is just a box cutter X-Acto knife. And it's just an old blunt blade as well. You don't need a perfectly sharp blade or anything, but I'm sure you get better cuts if you did, but the cuts really don't need to be perfect at all. You're going to be taping over them as well anyway, so here I'm just trying to clean them up a little bit before I tape them. I really should have done a better job. I eventually go back and clean them with water because the tape doesn't stick too well at the start, but I just tried just with the paper towel at first. So here you see I just line 2 pieces up and tape them together on one side. Make sure the tape is pressed in well. Like I said, they were a bit dirty, so it wasn't sticking too well for me at the start here. Cut it at the edge. And then for the other side, you fold it in half before you tape so that it's able to fold afterwards. And here I started taping on the side, but for the ones after this, I put the tape down in the middle first and then pressed it down on each side. You'll see that later. So yeah, here you see me cleaning off the edges because the tape, like I said, wasn't sticking too well. So I ended up having to clean off all the edges on both sides of each piece. And after that I went and grabbed a little weight just to hold the pieces in place as I taped them together. But the tape stuck quite a bit better after they were cleaned off. Still not perfect, but and there you see, like I said, I'm taping down the center, and I just press it down on into each side after I cut it. Just using the weight to hold it up. And so yeah, you just put each piece on, go opposite sides so it folds up like an accordion until you get all the pieces put together. And there you have it, folds out. So it ends up being pretty small, and it's perfect length for my body, really. Just trying it out here on the floor, just to give it a test. Like I said, it ends up being just about perfect. The end of my feet are just on, and my head is just resting. And it folds up nice and quick, and you can take it and go on. Here I'm just trying it out on the cot that I have with the sleeping bag, so this is what I have in mind for my sleep setup as of now. So there's the sleeping bag, the cot in its bag, the foam that I just made, and my bag with everything else. That's about what I'm taking now.